I was the annoying guy that had the parties that destroyed everybody else's yards and disrupted their lives. I was the guy that came to your house and ate your food and drank your booze and smoked your dope until there was nothing left. And long after you had gone to bed, I was still rummaging through your cupboards and your drawers looking for something else. And when I was sure it was all gone, then I went home. That was me. And it kind of left me in this funny place. It narrows your scope of people that you can hang out with. Because you don't always get invited out to a lot of things. But I kind of went through all these phases, you know. I was just kind of a rebellious kid. You know, I was at the top of all of my athletic programs, but every other teacher just about hated having me. I was a nightmare. I was the guy that didn't do his homework. I didn't do the classroom work. And I came on test day and got an 85 or a 90. It frustrates the daylights out of your teachers. Absolutely insensitive. I was the guy that sat there and just wrote all the answers in my book on algebra and handed it in to see what the teacher would do. Well, they always give you a 0. They say you have to show the work. And I told them that they were only jealous because they couldn't do it without doing the work. And so you get bored in school really fast when you're that guy. And I started to get into more and more trouble. And they threatened to kick me out of school. And I said, that's okay, I don't want to be here anyway. The best punishment you can do is make me stay. So they made me stay. They made me write my tests in the hallway so they knew and were sure I wasn't teaching. They took away the textbook that had the answers in the back to find out if that's where I was getting all of my intelligence from. And finally, in frustration, one of my math teachers wrote a problem on the board and told me to solve it. And when I did, then he kicked me out of his class. I couldn't believe it. But I was just rebellious enough that I said, this is really great. I got these guys on the run. I thought I had them on the run. That's how foolish we are when we're falling. And so, of course, that was during the 70s, you know, the late 60s and the 70s. And so by the time I was 18, 19 years old, you know, I had hair halfway down my back. And I was trying to grow a beard, you know. And it was actually working. But anyway, and I had quit school. I was off, going to start my own company, make a fortune, and not have to worry about any of those people that didn't like me. And I hung out with the hippies until it wasn't cool to be a hippie anymore. And then I bought a big old Harley Davidson and I became a biker. And I have the distinction right now of being the world's only biker without a tattoo.
Go, buddy.
Because my wife would never let me get one.
Go, Lucinda.
I was a biker and she wouldn't let me get a tattoo. What's with that? Now, there was a couple of things at play here. I came from a little town in northern Alberta, and there was only about 2 guys in the whole place that did tattoos. And both of them were prone to blood poisoning. So it was kind of like, you know, I didn't want a tattoo that bad that I was going to die for it. And so the only time you could actually get one was when you went to the big city, went to Edmonton. We go to Edmonton to party, and we go to Edmonton, and you know, I'd want to get a tattoo while I was in Edmonton, and I was going to get this here, and you know, I was going to get these tattoos, and Lucinda just say to me, oh, no, don't worry about it, not tonight, get it tomorrow, or you're too busy partying tonight. Yeah, too busy partying. The next thing I know, I'd be on my way home, and I realized, I got no ink. What kind of a biker's got no ink? And so I just went on, and of course, ink wasn't as popular then as it is now. I mean, everybody's ink today, right? And you walk down the street, everybody's got ink today. It's like, oh, another guy with a tattoo, are you kidding me? No, when I was wanting to get one, nobody had them. It was just like, this was a new thing. You know, guys were getting tattoos. They weren't very good, but they were getting them anyway, you know? Half the time they were getting infection, but they were getting them anyway. You know, and Lucinda just kept at this and just, you know, kept tricking me. Wives do that. They trick you into not harming yourself. What's with that?
Amen.
And so I have that distinction that I was a biker and I don't have any tattoos. Now, I have a lot of other scars from it. Scars on my knuckles, scars on my body. I have scars in my heart. The fact is, I understand what it is to be hurt and broken.
Yeah.
And so, Lucinda and I were not married at the time, but I said to her one day, maybe we should get married. And she said, no.
Tell the whole story.
I'm getting there.